How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid and as well as for SOFI. I want to make sure you guys are prepared going into next week. So we're going to be taking a look at some price levels and some more information. So let's start off with Lucid. So we could see here that it closed at $18.66 on the Friday, being up 3.15%. On the low, it tested $17.83, and then on the high, testing $18.71. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 13.906 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 21.742 million shares. So you can see that we did have below average volume, but we saw some strength in the stock. When we take a look at our chart, which is a 4-hour chart, here are some levels that I want you guys to pay attention to. So we have 1712, 1892, and as well as 2076. So why is this important? If you guys remember what I was saying in my previous videos, Lucid has been doing a really good job showing support at the $17.80 range or the $17.70 range. So knowing that we tested 1783 on the Friday, I want to see some continued momentum so we can break above 1871, which was the high of the day. And what is that next level to watch? 1892. So if we could break above 1892, that's where I want to see the move going to 1971 and then seeing if Lucid can get to 2076. I think this is very achievable if the markets continue to trend up, so I would keep that on very close watch. It also is looking bullish. It is trading below our major moving averages, which we have is the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, and as well as the 50 EMA, so that's a bullish sign as well. But the only time I start seeing some weakness though is if we break through $17.12. So that is something that you want to add to your homework. If we break through $17.12, then of course you want to see $17 hold up. If not, that's where we could see Lucid wanting to test right here around $16.50. But in my personal opinion, I want to see some continued strength going into next week. We could see increasing levels of support. So let's see if we can get that break so we can go back to trading in the $19 range. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for the 12th, we have Visionary Wealth Advisors that purchased 12,797 shares. We have HAP Trading LLC that purchased 24,489 shares. We have Sculptor Capital LP that purchased 50,000 shares. We have Nactixis that purchased 141,528 shares. We have LPL Financial LLC that purchased 260,827 shares, and we have Sion that purchased 1,950 shares. Let's see if we have some more filings. We have Forethought Financial LLC that purchased 500 shares, Soros Fund Management LLC with a put, and the value is $2.3 million. Wow. And then we have Pacer Advisors Inc. that purchased 48,416 shares, and K2 Principal Fund LP that purchased 61,094 shares. We have Barclays with a put and the value is 108,000, and we have Barclays again with a call and the value is just over 1.18 million. And I think that's about it for the 12th. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 48.45%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 2.61 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.1 million, updated 18 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 11.79%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 11th, it was at 53.60, and then for the close of the 12th, being at 48.45. So that is a significant decrease right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 21.02%, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential. Let's move on. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $7.65, being up 3.10%. On the low, it tested $7.30, and then on the high, testing $7.85. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 35.78 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 58.337 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day. We also saw some strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 4-hour chart, here's what I want to bring to your attention. You can clearly see that we're finding support right here on this 50 EMA. We have been able to show support around it several times, and this is something we want to watch going into next week. And where it's set right now is at $7.36. We saw a low on Friday at $7.30. So knowing that we saw a high at 770, we want SOFI to have price action above this level. If it can break above 770, that's where I want to see SOFI making that move going to $8. And if it can get to $8, then the next level that we need to watch, which I've pointed out in previous videos and for the breakout, is at $8.51, and then we want to see if it can make a further move going to $9. That would be the most bullish case scenario. But you could see it is in quite the range as well, because we know that there's a gap that needs to be filled at $6.64. So if the price does decide to break down, especially below that 50 EMA, then I could see us wanting to come down to this level, since we did have a strong run up just by taking a look at the candles we have here on the 4-hour chart. So it will be interesting to see what SOFI does going into the coming week, but if the market is bullish, I want to see that move going to $8.50. And the only time I start seeing some weakness if SOFI decides to break below $7.20, because then that's a high likelihood where we'll test $7 and then might see the gap fill going to $6.64. So let's see what happens. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for the 12th, we have Pearl River Capital LLC that purchased 11,600 shares, Peak 6 Investment LLC that purchased 847,922 shares. We also have Ekhorn Partners Limited Partnerships that purchased 14,000 shares. We have Enlightenment Research LLC that purchased 18,700 shares, Marathon Trading Investment Management LLC, 14,000 shares, Capital Fund Management that went in with a call of 822,400 shares, and also going in with puts with a value of 161,700 shares. We have K2 Principal Fund LP that purchased 15,000 shares, and we have Sion that purchased 10,367 shares. We have American International Group Inc. that purchased 8,319 shares, Referdy Asset Management LLC that purchased 252,474 shares, Bank of America Corp. with calls with a value of 100,000 shares. We have LPL Financial LLC that purchased 632,504 shares, American Century Companies Inc. that purchased 15,765 shares, Integrated Advisors Network LLC that purchased 27,458 shares, and Sodas Investment Advisors LLC that purchased 29,166 shares. You know what? That's actually for the 11th, and we went over everything for the 12th. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 45.31%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 7.98 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 22 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.30%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 11th, it's at 43.57, and then for the close of the 12th, being at 45.31. So that is a decent increase right there. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 17.06%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So that pretty much sums up the video for you guys. Like I said, I want to see these stocks continue to have momentum going into next week, especially if the market continues to trend up. So look out for those levels that I spoke about. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you find a lot of value in these videos, make sure you hit the like button. I'll be talking to you guys real soon. And also make sure that you're enjoying your weekend and be ready for the market when it opens on Monday.